Goodnight, Irene, or Irene, Goodnight, is a 20th-century American folk standard, written in March 4th time, first recorded by American blues musician Huddie Lead Belly Ledbetter in 1933. The lyrics tell of the singer's troubled past with his love, Irene, and express his sadness and frustration. Several verses make explicit references to suicidal fantasies, most famously in the line "Sometimes I take a great notion to jump in the river and drown," which was the inspiration for the 1964 Ken Kesey novel Sometimes a Great Notion and a song of the same name from John Mellencamp's 1989 album, Big Daddy, itself strongly informed by traditional American folk music. Lead Belly, the specific origins of Irene are unclear. Lead Belly was singing a version of the song from as early as 1908, which he claimed to have learned from his uncles Terrell and Bob. An 1886 song by Gussie L. Davis has several lyrical and structural similarities to the latter song. However, no information on its melody has survived. Some evidence suggests the 1886 song was itself based on an even earlier song which has not survived. Regardless of where he first heard it, by the 1930s Lead Belly had made the song his own, modifying the rhythm and rewriting most of the verses. Lead Belly continued performing the song during his various prison terms, and it was while incarcerated at the Louisiana State Penitentiary that he encountered musicologists John and Alan Lomax, who would go on to record hours of Lead Belly's performances. A few months prior to his release in 1934, Lead Belly recorded a number of his songs, including Irene, for the Library of Congress. Irene remained a staple of Lead Belly's performances throughout the 1930s and 40s. However, despite popularity within the New York blues community, the song was never commercially successful during his lifetime. In 2002, Lead Belly's 1936 Library of Congress recording received a Grammy Hall of Fame award. Covers. In 1950, 1 year after Lead Belly's death, the American folk band The Weavers recorded a version of Goodnight, Irene. The single first reached the Billboard bestseller chart on June 30, 1950 and lasted 25 weeks on the chart, peaking at number 1. Although generally faithful, The Weavers chose to omit some of Lead Belly's more controversial lyrics, leading Time magazine to label it a dehydrated, and prettied-up version of the original. Due to the recording's popularity, however, The Weavers' lyrics are the ones generally used today. Billboard ranked this version as the number 1 song of 1950. The Weavers' enormous success inspired many other artists to release their own versions of the song, many of which were themselves commercially successful across several genres. Frank Sinatra's cover, released only a month after The Weavers, lasted 9 weeks on the Billboard magazine bestseller chart on July 10, peaking at number 5. Later that same year, Ernest Tubb and Red Foley had a number 1 country music record with the song, and the Alexander Brothers, Dennis Day and Joe Stafford released versions which made the bestseller chart, peaking at number 26, number 17 and number 9 respectively. Moon Mullican had a number 5 country hit with it in 1950, and a version by Paul Gayton and his orchestra reached number 6 on the Billboard R&B chart in the same year. On the Cashbox chart, where all available versions were combined in the standings, the song reached a peak position of number 1 on September 2, 1950, and lasted at number 1 for 13 weeks. The song was the basis for the 1950 parody called Please Say Goodnight to the Guy, Irene by Ziggy Talent. It also inspired the 1954 answer record Wake Up, Irene by Hank Thompson, and number 1 on Billboard's country chart. Keith Richards recorded the song in 2015, and gives praise to Lead Belly in several interviews. In 1958 Jim Reeves covered the song for his LP Girls I'd Known. Other hit versions 1959, Billy Williams reached number 75 on the U.S. Billboard Pop chart. 1962, Jerry Reed reached number 79 on the U.S. Pop chart. Usain Football, Goodnight Irene is sung by supporters of English football team Bristol Rovers. It was first sung at a fireworks display at the stadium the night before a home game against Plymouth Argyle in 1950. During the game the following day, Rovers were winning quite comfortably and the few Argyle supporters present began to leave early, prompting a chorus of Goodnight Argyle from the Rovers supporters. The tune stuck and Goodnight Irene became the club's song. Other uses: in professional wrestling, Adorable Adrian Adonis frequently referred to his finishing move a standard sleeper hold as Goodnight Irene. In the novel Housekeeping, written by Marilyn Robinson, both Sylvie and Helen do sing this song several times. The 1993 Moxie Fravers recording the drinking song includes a reference to Goodnight Irene, sang a few bars of some pretty old song. Irene Goodnight. Irene Goodnight, Goodnight Irene, Goodnight Irene, I'll see you, in my dreams. Goodnight Irene makes an appearance in the 2013 video game, BioShock Infinite, during the raffle scene where the winner of the competition gets to throw the chosen numbered baseball at a captive mixed-race couple. It is sung in the background by the crowd of people at the raffle, until Booker approaches. Dee hums Goodnight Irene in an episode of Battlestar Galactica. In the PC game Team Fortress 2, the engineer will sometimes give the response "Well, Goodnight Irene," when using the negative taunt, implying he's fed up. See also, If It Had Not Been for Jesus, a Christian gospel song to the same tune, first recorded in 1930 by Blind Willie Johnson. References: Oliver, Paul. Songsters and Saints, Vocal Traditions on Race Records. Cambridge University Press, Cambridge. ISBN 0-521-24827-2. External links: Goodnight Irene lyrics and MIDI on rienzihills.com, retrieved on August 10, 2009. Recording of Goodnight Irene in RAM format on leadbelly.org, retrieved on January 7, 2012.